Dr. Osterholm, reasonable people like yourself and others in your field can disagree on what we should be concentrating on. And you wrote about this today, whether it's using the Defense Production Act to make more respirators, whether we need to test a larger piece of the population, what surveillance looks like. But to Lori's point, we're not having that discussion. Right now, what's the thing that concerns you most? Lori talked about the sirens that she's hearing. I'm in Manhattan. I'm hearing the same sirens at a level that I haven't heard since 9/11. There are medical professionals. There are frontline workers being exposed to this and getting sick. What's your biggest concern right now? What should we be doing most immediately?
Well, first of all, I want to just preface it by saying we're going to get through this. We are, as a nation, going to get through this. But we got to stop the happy talk. We got to stop saying everything's okay, because it's not, because that's what's keeping us from getting on and doing what we have to do. For example, just take the Defense Production Act, which, right now has become this political theater about are you for it or are you against it. Take one mechanical ventilator, the machine that's so critical. To make one of those takes over 156 parts that comes from at least 14 different countries, and it's made each of those parts by experts who have the machine specifically for that part. To ask General Motors to do that is absolutely like asking you and me to go become brain surgeons because we at one time or another held a knife in our hands. And so we got to get off of that. What's going to make a difference? As a former defense secretary once said, when you go to war, you don't get to go to war with what you want. You have to go to war with what you got. And we have to understand we're going to have a very major shortage of ventilators. We're going to have a major shortage of protective equipment for healthcare workers that are putting their life on the line every day. And we got to have a plan that says this is the reality. Let's go with it. If we keep talking happy talk about, how everything is going so well, we'll never get to that plan. And in the end, we'll all suffer. And finally, let me just say, and the public will lose faith. We know absolutely clearly that any leader who will approach a topic with honesty, even if it's tough, the public will stay with them when they provide that leadership.